Across to my colleague Natasha Piri, who is standing by. Thank you very much, Natasha. So tell us what's happening where you are.
Well, very good afternoon to you, Nompu, of course, to our SABC viewers as well. We're actually on the campaign trail here with the chief activist of One South Africa movement, Mr. Mmusi Maimane, but I'm also joined by the CEO of the NHM movement, Mr. Bishop Vincent Jones, who's also, interestingly, the mayoral candidate of the Emfuleni local municipality. While we walk and talk, Nompu, I'll be asking him questions, and then we'll bring in Mmusi Maimane into the fold. So, Mr. Jones, you're here at this mall, you're campaigning. We just saw you, earlier on, just speaking to the various independent candidates that you have here. Just tell the viewers, do you have 45 independent candidates? And I understand that they'll be all contesting those 45 wards here in the Emfuleni local municipality.
That's right. We do have 45 candidates in Emfuleni. We have one candidate in Midvaal. We have 3 candidates in Lesedi. So we are contesting Emfuleni as well as the district. You see, the district is very important to us also, because it's the structure that was put in place to benefit politicians. Look at what is happening here. You have a district. In the district, let's say you have MMC for human settlement. You also have MMC for human settlement in Emfuleni, Midvaal, as well as Lesedi. And then you can see the duplication that is so wasteful. So one of the things we want to do is to work towards the metro. But in the meantime, instead of having all these portfolios in the district that are so wasteful, we are going to merge them at least. Let's have 4 instead of 9, because this was meant to support, to create jobs for politicians. And we can have most of the budget to go into Emfuleni where it's needed most.
Now, driving to this mall behind you guys in the convoy, there were so many potholes. Also driving through the streets of Emfuleni, you can see sewage openly lying out around. There's also a lack of water. How do you plan to change all of this, should you be the mayor of this municipality?
Unfortunately, somebody said, if you can plant a tree in every pothole in Emfuleni, imagine the forest. It's going to be a huge forest. But like I have said in my address, we have a plan. We have a plan. We have partnered with business, because business is also as affected as the people. We want to make sure that in the Department of Infrastructure Development, we have engineers, electrical engineers, structural engineers, civil engineers, and so on. And luckily for us, we have a support of business who are going to make sure that they don't only support, but they put their money into making sure that we fix infrastructure here. It has to be fixed. If we are to make this place safe, if we are to create jobs, this infrastructure is important. So I'm saying we have a plan. We are entering into a public-private partnership with business who are really keen to make sure that we succeed, so that we can fix all the infrastructure here that has gone so worse.
Mr. Jones, let me just also bring in Mmusi Maimane here, who's the chief activist of One Movement South Africa. Mr. Maimane, we've been covering you a lot as the SABC. Earlier on this year, around May, you had told members of the media at a briefing that you held that you would be helping movements like the New Horizon movement. You would be training independent candidates. Tell us more about that. And also, just also make us understand, in terms of the Electoral Act of Section 15A, just please elaborate for us.
So what we felt was important was, if you want to give power back to the people, set up structures in those communities. So in other communities, we established new ones that were partnerships with business, local municipalities, etc. We found organizations that represent communities, and we've been partnering with them such as the New Horizon movement. The reason we do that is because we knew we wanted to support independent candidates and work with them, train them as to how not only can they win an election, but also ensure that they're able to govern well and govern for the people. But we also wanted to maximize the PR vote and make sure that there's a local organization that's there that manages the affairs of the people. So it's been for us a very powerful thing of returning power to the people, using the law. It's cheap. You avoid state capture. You avoid this party funding where people put lots of money. You can work with local structures. And those local structures are the ones that govern for the people. Local government is about local issues. It's about potholes, it's about water, it's about electricity, it's about ensuring that services are delivered. That's what we have to do.
And it's not only the New Horizon movement that you're actually helping, you're helping other movements. Just kindly tell us who they are. You said, interestingly enough, that you are supporting independent candidates in 10 municipalities. You mentioned the Greater Letaba municipality in Limpopo, of which you'll be going to soon as well.
So we've been working all across the country. I was in Cape Town working with the One Movement for Cape Town that we established. We work with, they're setting up. And so we are in Greater Letaba with the municipality there and the traditional leadership there that's working. We've also in the Bujanala region in the northwest. We're here in Gauteng. We've got municipalities in KZN. In the Eastern Cape, we're working in Abeja and Queenstown. We'll be working there. And ultimately, even in Mpumalanga, we're working in the JS Moroka municipality with Michael. So there are multiple organizations across the country that we're working with. And if we had more time, obviously there'd be more municipalities that we'd bring on board. But obviously, as the elections are now upon us for the 1st of November, we want to make sure we do well in all 10 of those, in all of those municipalities, and with the independent candidates that are just under 300 that we're working with.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Mmusi Maimane. I wish I had more time. I actually wanted to rope in another independent candidate. But of course, due to time constraints, we'll have to, cross back to you in studio. As for me, Natasha Phiri and Kwanzi Manzi out here at the Emfuleni local municipality, it's back to you in studio, Nompo.
Thanks very much, Natasha, for that report. My colleague there, Natasha Phiri, former